So we're back. We are 2 weeks after we put our Zoe patches on. we took them off yesterday. It was a bit tricky taking them off. Obviously you got the spike in there, and but it was fine.
It was quite funny to see the spike, like how long it was. It was quite weird knowing that that's been in our arm for 2 weeks. But you just really didn't feel it after a while. You really did get used to it. And it was kind of weird taking it off. You kind of miss it. It's a bit bizarre.
Yeah, we were scanning ourselves maybe 8, 9, 10 times a day.
I think I was doing about 12, it said. It actually gives you that data as well. And it was just brilliant, really, wasn't it? We were quite excited.
It's quite time consuming depending on how you eat. We eat quite a lot at home, and for our breakfast a kind of buffet style in terms of adding bits and pieces, nuts, yogurts, fruits, and to make it more accurate you have to weigh it out to put exactly what to make the results better. 4 grams of this, 10 grams of that. So we had the scales, adding bits and pieces to the pots and stuff like that, and writing it down every morning. The same with the lunch, the same with anything you eat, unless it's out of a packet, which we learned and we kind of knew already. If it's a packet meal, it tends to score very lowly, very, very poor results, even the posh meals. But you can scan barcodes, so it's really easy, and it recognises pretty much everything with a barcode on it.
Yeah,
and then it knows what's in it.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
You can score it that way.
And you can also photograph, like if there's not a barcode, you can photograph something and it'll just bring it up. You can, if it doesn't get it quite right, for example, if you take a photo of your coffee and it says a certain type of milk and it's actually not that milk and you need to change it, there's a swap option to swap things out. You can change the quantity of things, and then there's also the option of just listing what you've had, isn't there? You can literally just talk into your phone and say, I've had 5 walnuts, a bit of yogurt, a coffee, and it'll kind of make it up. So you don't have to be always that precise. And if you're out and you need to do it quickly, sometimes I've done it in all different ways.
Yeah, well, you have to be careful, because I've looked back at some of my meals and instead of putting 100 grams of something, I've put 100 portions of it. So
100 portions of biscuits. So he's very disappointed that his scores were a bit lower.
So the food scores came in really badly. So I got a 0 for that meal, or that snack, because it was 10,000 calories of...
Well, I actually think you did eat that much.
But it's been a really good...
it's been a really good experience.
Yeah, it does require the better results, the better you inputs, the better outputs. So it can take some time. And just some examples of what's come out for me. Some of my scores that I've written down, they're all in the app, all in the meals, but dates, for example, we know they're just full of sugar. Everything gets a score out of 100. They scored 13. But obviously if you have them with some Brazil nuts, which score about 96, as a meal they're going to average at around 50. So it's combinations, it's the order in which you eat food to give your meal score. May I
interject?
Yeah.
It's really important to remember these are specific things for you, so they may be different. Like Declan and I's results are different, so if dates score a certain thing for him, it might be different for me, because the way I process everything.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the whole Zoe thing.
So it's not for, as in these scores, Declan saying, oh, this scores this scores this, but that wouldn't necessarily be the same for you. That's just for Declan's results. My results were different. I don't think you like that, do you? But apparently men do tend to have a lesser ability to process fat and sugar.
The three
there's
things
more
it looks
variables.
Is the sugar response.
Basically, my results were better.
And the gut response.
Which
and the gut health.
You're not really happy about.
But
it's very common that women have these types of results.
Yeah, I'm a bit guilty of sweet snacks, so I could put a packet of biscuits away quite easily, which is really bad. Even a few biscuits by themselves will cause... I have quite a strong sugar reaction, I stayed mainly within my range, but it's the dip, the spikes and the dips
Spikes and the dips, yeah.
that over time is just not good for your health, your overall health. But some other things I do like snacking on, like peanut butter. And again, it's depending on the brand. Obviously not something like a Sun Pat that's full of rubbish. Just crushed peanuts scores about 75 for me. So it says I can eat that freely. Anything over 50 is tending to be better. Obviously below 50 is pretty negative.
It says I can have red wine in moderation.
But the red wine, for example, for me it says, so it's bad for my sugar, it's bad for my fat, but it's good for my gut health. So you've got to make these decisions on, it's got a lot of sugar which might turn to fat, or your fat response.
Depending on your
there's
fat
some
response.
good things in it for your gut, let's say.
The polyphenols. Oh, our gut health, both of us, was excellent, I believe.
Yeah, gut health was excellent. It's quite interesting. It shows you how many of the 50 good bacteria.
And it gives all the Latin names.
All the names for them, and their
if
nicknames.
you're interested.
And it also gives the 50 bad bacteria, although I'd like to see more detail on that, because
there probably is more detail. It just seems like there's just so much information. You really do get your money's worth. Like, it goes on and on and on.
And this is just the start, really.
This is the start of the journey in some ways, isn't it?
We start building meal plans now and logging meals and following their advice. So they'll say we need to maybe up your fibre or up your protein or drop my sugar in my case.
Yeah, mine was upping protein.
Stop the biscuits. Crisps, my favourite crisps, just lightly salted crisps, didn't score too badly. I think about 40 something. What was interesting, alcohol-free beer scored very badly.
But again, that's just
for me,
it
brew
might
dog,
be different for someone else. So.
I think it scored 9 out of 100. But the alcohol-free Guinness was scored 30. So
that was better for you.
That was better. Just some other scores that I've written down. A banana for me was 43. So
it was better for me.
Unless I have that with some nuts, it's not so good. I guess because it's quite high sugar, and my reaction to sugar. Green olives, 98 for me, so they're pretty good. An avocado, 97. Not surprised there. Barley cup, that was a coffee alternative made from like a...
Barley?
Yeah, made from barley. We went on one yoga retreat that was serving that instead of coffee.
Yeah, and I really liked it. And I loved it until I came home and you'd done the thing with the kettle, put vinegar in it, and then made me barley cup with vinegar.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But coffee, black coffee I score well on.
Yeah, me too.
I think maybe I can't remember, but it's pretty high, maybe even 70 or 80. And black tea is fine. Obviously green tea, herbal teas all score quite highly, obviously on the gut side. They don't have, I don't think, any fat or sugar response.
But yeah, in terms of other things they offer or suggest, well, it just seems endless. Oh, and there's lots of lessons that you can do, little short lessons learning about loads of things. I think which I didn't expect you get all that as well. And it just seems ongoing, doesn't it? There's lots more information that we can access.
The other main thing, another thing, cake. Even if it's a homemade cake, low sugar cake, or even what appear to be healthy fruit bars, protein bars, the naked bars.
Protein bars, I'm fine.
Protein okay, but some of them I'm scoring low 30s and stuff. But cake, the cake spike, or if you have jams and marmalades are really bad for me in terms of the spike.
And me.
But if you're going to have them occasionally, you need to get moving straight away. You need to use that sugar immediately, so
because then it rebalances the high and
the whole idea
very
is
quickly,
to flatten your curves. Use the jam. So I've experimented with having jam and croissants for breakfast, but then immediately going out for a brisk walk, 15-minute walk, and instead of having a spike and a dip, I'll get a lower high, and it's a smoother come down as well. So that's some of the main lessons. Maybe we'll put some graphics up or add some graphics to show you what these spikes and dips look like with different foods. But we're excited. Yeah, we've got lots of recipes now. They're making suggestions. There's still loads of lessons we've got to go through, all different levels, and you kind of graduate with each level.
Yeah,
and
it's exciting.
There's lots more to learn. We're just at the start here.
And I guess maybe on our next video, we can talk more about why we're even doing this. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
We're both doing this for completely different reasons. Well,
yeah. So we'll leave it there for now. We'll probably not revisit Zoe for a while now. We've got lots of other exciting things to do. My Garmin and my Garmin scales.
Oh, I think I do need a Garmin now.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to get involved in this because I'm quite excited about the scales.
Yeah, so we're going to maybe look at more of our active side. This is the food side. We wanted to start with this beginning of the year to give us a good base for our diet for the rest of the year. And now we're already doing exercise, and we're now going to start to track it and log it and share some videos on that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay.
That's us for now.
See you next time.